Welcome back to the DC Universe Classics Director's Commentary. I'm Scott ToyGuru Neitlich, and we're here to talk about Wave 3 of DCU Classics, which, honestly, in my book, is really one of our A-plus waves. There was one issue which we'll talk about, but overall, this was a really awesome wave. I mean, Deathstroke, Robin, Green Lantern, Sinestro, not to mention the amazing Build-A-Figure we had in this wave. Well, actually, let's go through the rollout. Officially, there was Hal Jordan, Green Lantern, the iconic Green Lantern. There was Robin, Batman's #1 sidekick throughout the years. Deathstroke, the Terminator, who fans were like amazed that we got out so quickly. Sinestro, who was the arch enemy of Green Lantern, Hal Jordan. And Nightwing, the original Robin, all grown up. And then finally that Build-A-Figure, Solomon Grundy, from the nursery rhyme, right? Not from DC Comics. It was based on the nursery rhyme, right? Okay. So I know in past episodes I have talked about the need to have Batman and or Superman in every wave. But, you know, Warner Brothers and Mattel, we were really starting to make a deal and become closer, and they kind of agreed that Green Lantern was strong enough to anchor a wave. And we did have, you know, kind of two Batman-y characters in there with Nightwing and Robin. So we kind of got the pardon, if you will, to move forward without an actual Batman or an actual Superman. And instead we could focus on Hal Jordan, Green Lantern, who really was kind of an A-list DC character. I mean, he's, you know, founding member of the Justice League and everything. And, of course, knowing we were going to have Hal Jordan as kind of the star of the wave, it made sense to do his arch-enemy Sinestro. Especially because this wave came out kind of right in the middle of the Sinestro Corps War, when he was wearing an awesome new yellow outfit. He was super popular in the comic books. So doing that version of Sinestro became pretty obvious that we should have the version out there that was huge in the books. But, of course, this is DCU Classics, after all, with the emphasis on classic. So even though I will contradict myself with Robin in a few moments, it made sense to also do a 50-50 variant and have Sinestro in his original outfit. Now, here's what I was talking about at the beginning about kind of the one issue for the wave. Sinestro came out not quite the right height. He's actually supposed to be a tall character, and he was literally the opposite of that in this wave, coming in shorter than any other character. So, yeah, why did this happen? I can actually explain it. The reason is, when we were approving the first shots and the tooling master for this wave, and it was still very early on in us doing this, we were doing them individually, one at a time, which means when we approved Sinestro, we approved him by himself, not looking at him compared to any other characters, and we didn't know the height was a little off, or we would have rejected it. We were just looking at him in terms of articulation, and did the parts work, and did he physically work? Now, years later, we did kind of do what Hot Wheels called an apology car, I guess you could say an apology figure, by doing a correct height Sinestro in both his outfits, because honestly, it killed me that he wasn't right. And, yeah, we promised not to do that again. From then on, we always compared all figures with each other. So this way, we were never just looking at a single figure without others to compare the height with. Alright, next up we have Robin, Batman's longtime sidekick, and of course there's been lots and lots and lots and lots of Robins over the years. And this was one, much like with the rest of the Year 1 rollout, which really came directly from Warner Brothers and DC. They wanted us to do the modern version, especially because, one, it was going to be awesome to do the classic version down the line. It didn't mean that was off the table. In fact, we actually wound up doing quite a lot of Robins in the DC Universe Classics line over the time and space of the line. Time and space? Okay, why not? And also because we had Nightwing in this wave, and Nightwing was Robin all grown up. And we didn't want to have two versions of the same character, of the Dick character, in two different outfits, grown up and as a kid. So it made sense if we were going to do, grown up Dick, that we would do a different version of Robin as Robin. God, did that make sense? I feel like I've been saying Robin way too much in this but I guess that's what happens when you have two characters that once donned that outfit in one wave. Either way, Nightwing became the next character in the lineup, and he was pretty awesome. Eventually, we did him in his red outfit, too. I think that was called his Renegade outfit. I'm sure people in the comment section will tell me how wrong I am. But that was just a straight repaint. Deathstroke the Terminator, the next character. Oh, he was awesome. This was like an A-plus character all the way. And we even got to do him without his mask on. There was just no way to say anything but how amazingly perfect this character was. In fact, let's just take a moment to enjoy the figure. And so, of course, here he was in his chase version without the mask, and this was a legitimate chase version that I think was done at 30% of the run, so 30% of the figures had the maskless version. And then next up, we have Green Lantern, who is going to anchor the wave, as they say. We did a lot of Green Lanterns over the years, lots of different characters, but this was going to be Hal Jordan, which, of course, we also did lots of versions of Hal Jordan over the years, especially because during the course of DCU Classics, the Green Lantern theatrical movie came out, which was a kind of excuse to do even more classic versions and comic book versions of Hal Jordan, including just the version you see here, which was the original, the one from this wave. It also, as I said, came out in the middle of the Sinestro Corps War, so Green Lantern was super hot in the comic books, and gave us the chance to really tie into Hal and the Green Lantern character's current popularity, to really push him at retail and promote him online. And honestly, it's always a good thing when characters are super hot in the comics and we can get a character out as a toy at the same time. Doesn't always happen, but we will absolutely take whatever tokens the universe is willing to throw our way. Alright, moving on to our Build-A-Figure. This was Solomon Grundy, who, wow, yeah, much like Deathstroke, he was just an A-plus character. I mean, this guy stands up even today as just one of the best DCU Classics figures ever done. And I think pretty much the best version of Grundy ever done. He was bigger, he was definitely way bigger than most characters, unlike Grodd was a little bit bigger, and Element Man just had snap-on parts. Grundy, he was huge. He was awesome. He's a giant undead zombie, and it was great to get him in the line so early, because I think it sent a message to fans of how dedicated we were to this line. Alright, so one last issue to talk about in regard to the DC Wave here is the distribution of the product. There was definitely a snag. You see, a lot of the retailers, when they ordered DCU Classics, they put their entire year's order against Wave 1. We hadn't broken it up by wave, we had it by an assortment. So Wave 1 was way over-ordered. We fixed this years later, but Wave 1 just became this, what's called a peg warmer, and stuck around way longer than it was supposed to. So when this wave finally came out, it was super hot, but it took longer than expected. We were able to eventually retrain retailers so that the toys didn't wind up in that black hole of collecting and could get to retail faster. But again, first year, a couple eggs were broken, had to make some omelets. Omelets are yummy. And Wave 3 was pretty yummy. I mean, like I said, this really was an A-plus wave, minus the slight distribution issues and the height on Sinestro. I mean, you had Green Lantern, you had Grundy, you had Deathstroke. We were ready to really start rolling out the DC Universe in 6-inch scale. We loved it. It was awesome. And if you think this is awesome, please do share this video, because I'm not doing Patreon or anything like that, and any way you could help spread the news would be awesome. This is ToyGuru Neitlich, and thanks for watching.